Good morning. Hey, this is Cody with Secure Agent Mentor and SecureAgentMentor.com. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for joining. I'm extremely excited about today's episode of Six Figure Focus. Again, six figures is right in your grasp. I am standing up thinking about it right now. I'm clenching my fist. I'm getting so excited because I can tell you this. It is right in your wheelhouse. It's never been more possible to make six figures than it is today. And the sooner you believe it, the sooner you will achieve it. Now, today's topic comes from someone that I've recently started to talk to. They've actually reached out and asked for a couple of special requests. So today's podcast, today's episode is a special request. I won't give any specifics or any names. I'm not sure if he's cool with that or not. But hey, he's reached out. He's given a lot of compliments. He loves the YouTube channel. He loves the Six Figure Focus podcast. And he said, Cody, can you do a special request? Can I give you a specific topic? Can you help me with an area that I'm struggling with? I said, abso-freaking-lutely. So that is what today's is going to be about. Today's going to be about how to go from part-time to full-time. And what's funny is I love this topic because I've actually been in this scenario or in their shoes myself, so to speak. But I have a lot of agents. We have several agents that reach out to us every single day, every single week. And most of those agents are part-time or they're trying to become full-time. They love this business. They want to do this business. They are just a little skeptical. Maybe not as confident as they want to be, or maybe they just don't have the funds they feel like to really dive in. So we're going to cover those topics. So we're going to talk about how to go from part-time to becoming full-time. Again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. So I want to start out by saying that when you're part-time, a lot of times I always say, hey, have multiple different markets, have multiple different prospecting avenues. Well, when you're part-time, you only need one. You don't have enough time to put in to focus on multiple different avenues. So let's focus on one avenue and let's kill it in that avenue. Let's absolutely destroy it in that avenue. So that first avenue we're going to talk about today is, if you're part-time, it has to be your warm market. No question about it, it has to be your warm market. But you don't want to tell your warm market, hey, I'm just doing this part-time. Your warm market's not going to trust you enough with their money, with their insurance needs. Now, I say that. There's a lot of them that would still trust you enough. And number one, we should always assume, you see what I did there, assume, because we always talk about that. You should always assume that they're going to accept the fact that you're part-time and you're doing this. But don't even bring it up, hey, I'm part-time doing this. Just, hey, I love this industry. This is something I want to do for the rest of my life. Sell them on it. I'm passionate about it. I'm serious about it. And I know that I'm serious about helping my family first. Develop a warm market list. There's a book out there. It's called Prospecting Made Easy. And it says if you can't write down a list of 500 people that you know or that know you, then you are not serious about prospecting. Or you are not serious about being successful. So you think about that, that's a lot. That's a lot of people. Well, start out with a couple hundred. We all have at least, and I guarantee you, I don't care if you're from Alaska or if you just moved here from Australia, it doesn't matter. Everyone's got 200 people that know them, 200 people that they know. Write down a couple hundred people, write down their name, number, and whatever other information you want to write down about them. But that's the best place to start. When you're part-time, that's what I did. Kind of my story real quick is the way I went from part-time and succeeded in a huge way part-time to going full-time and then just killed it was, hey, I was 18, 19 years old. I knew this was a business that would interest me in a big way. I wasn't 100% sure of what I wanted to do. But once I got in this business, I dove in head first, and I absolutely love it, and I will never look back. But in the beginning, I was reluctant to see my warm market and call my warm market, as most of us are. As I've said before, I was pleasantly surprised by how incredibly encouraging, kind, respectful, they were awesome. And all warm markets will be that way if we approach it in the right angle and with the right confidence and we assume. Okay, so because I was reluctant to see my warm market, I started seeing life leads. I started buying life leads or calling life leads for other agents and splitting them and going on appointments with other agents, whatever I could do to get my hands on some leads and to pound the phones. I learned at an early age in this business that to be successful, I had to be good on the phone. I had to master the phone, just like yesterday's podcast episode. I knew that pounding the phones was essential. So if you aren't willing to pound the phones, this business will be very, very difficult to succeed. Okay, so I started pounding the phones, calling life leads. After a couple months of that, of making a few sales here and there, it's going okay. I was so excited about this business that I booked an entire week where all my warm market lives in Arkansas, and I went and saw them for an entire week. And I came back with literally about $10,000 of commission. My entire family warm market is in Arkansas. I went there for a week. I spent all day, every day with friends and family from that area. And I came back. And my goal when I went there was I called them ahead of time. I'm coming down. I want to sit down and review your insurance with you. I didn't give them an option. I didn't give them a choice. They're your friends. They're your family. They're going to give you 20 minutes. They're going to give you 30 minutes. They just will. It's just human nature. That's just part of it. So that's exactly what I did. I went down. We reviewed their insurance. I saw what they had. I said, you know what? It's been a while since you have reviewed this or shopped this or re-upped this or extended this. This is what I would do. And I said, and I didn't even, I was slowly learning the business. I didn't even know what I was doing. But I was just kind of almost always assuming that they wanted to do it. I wasn't a master of closing yet, but I knew that what I was proposing they needed to do. So I said, hey, let's this is what you need to do. This is what I recommend. This is what I think we should go ahead and do. Are you cool with that? That's almost how I was closing. It's extremely, well, I wouldn't say it's 100% passive. I'm kind of an aggressive individual to begin with. But I started doing that, and I started seeing my warm market. I was so excited. I saw the money potential. I saw how excited I was about this business, how much I loved it, that I booked an entire week in Arkansas, came back with about 10 grand, and within the next few months, I was full-time. And I just have never looked back. I loved it. And so, I was reluctant to see my warm market as well. But don't do that. Trust me. If you'll just put fear aside and dive in head first, it will surprise you. It will surprise you in a big way. Because I know most people, they're like, okay, I want to save up 2 or 3 months of income. I want to make a quick 20 to 5, 10, 20 grand. I want to gain some confidence. I want to learn the business. And then I'll go full time. Well, if you do that and you don't have a prospecting avenue to hit hard or a plan in place, like, hey, set a 3-month plan, set a 6-month plan. I'm going to do these things and these things are going to happen. And then on this date, I'm going to go full time. If you don't set a goal, if you don't set a timeline, if you don't set, you don't have a plan in place, it's going to be that much tougher to get where you want to go or to actually ever turn full-time. We have a lot of permanent part-time insurance agents out there because they don't have a plan. Make a plan to make a plan. Sit down, plan to sit down to plan out what you want to happen. So start with your warm market, bang out your warm market, pound the phones, get in front of them and recommend that they do this and tell them, this is what I recommend. I recommend we go ahead and do this. I'm sure you're cool with that, right? Bam! How are they going to say no to you, man? They love you. They respect you. They're friends. They're family. So once you're working your market, you're saving up some money. You're gaining confidence. You got to learn the business. You got to learn the numbers side of the business, and you got to figure out how to succeed. This is a numbers type of sales business, like most of them are. You've got to get in front of enough people to succeed. So you've got to learn, how am I going to get in front of part-time? You need to get in front of at least 4 people a week to make good money and actually succeed. That's kind of the numbers behind what I recommend. If you can sit down in front of 4 people that you know and that know you every single week, you'll be full-time before you know it. And that sounds so crazy. That sounds so simple, so easy. 90% of agents don't do it. 90% of agents, it never happens. Learn the business, learn the number side of the business, figure out how to succeed, see 4 people a week that you know, and have a mentor. If you don't have a mentor, you got to have one. I had a mentor when I was starting out in the business. I had several mentors. People I would pick their brain, ask questions, figure out, hey, what should I be doing? What am I not doing? What am I not doing well? Listen to my calls while I was recording all my phone calls. Hey, listen to this. What could I have said? What could I have done? I didn't get the appointment. I didn't get the sale. Why didn't I? I want to improve. I want to get that sale. I want to get that appointment next time. So what can I do differently? You got to have that. And if you don't have a mentor, reach out. Seriously, reach out. I will be your mentor. If you need one, I feel like in the insurance business, because of the way I made it and came up, and I'm a lot like a lot of you, I can be a mentor, and I can be one heck of a mentor. So reach out to me. Feel free to email me at cody.askins@secureig.com. The secureagentmentor.com training website will be up and running before you know it. We're going to do a little bit of a pre-orders and pre-launch so that you can get a huge discount for all the first members that join. Okay, I want to finish this. I'm going to get back onto the content. I'm going to finish this by saying, once you do decide to go full-time, that it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't stop. It actually gets harder. So once you're full-time and you figured out you took those steps and you're officially full-time, so to speak, we're talking 3 months, 6 months down the road, you got to do 3 things. You got to stay confident. You got to always pound the phone. You can never let up off the telephone. The agents that do not like to call, that do not like to pound the phones, do not make it. Overcome the fear of the telephone and watch the money roll in. I am serious when I say that. And the third thing about being full-time is you need 3 avenues. When you're full-time, you have enough time to work 3 avenues hard. And there's always 3 avenues I recommend, but it can be different for every agent. I always recommend you continue warm market. I always recommend you join a networking group. And I always recommend that you work some life insurance leads in some way, or just leads in general, preferably life or final expense leads. Even if they're old, better than nothing. Pound the phones, get in front of some people. If you work your warm market, you join a networking group, and you pound the phone calling leads, if you do those things, you do them hard enough, and you pound the phone well enough, and you get good enough on the phone, you will succeed, no question about it. Now that 4 appointments a week that you were killing it at when you were part-time doing that, you got to double that when you're full-time. Has to be 8. Sounds even more difficult. I got to sit in front of 8 people every single week. You do that, 6 figures will come, no matter how good you are in person, no matter how good you are on the phone, no matter your sales ability, no matter your product knowledge. None of that matters. 8 appointments a week when you're full-time, and you will make 6 figures. I don't care how good or how bad you are. That brings me to a point, something I just said a second ago, is that you have to, something just came to me, and it was hitting me, and I was thinking, gosh, I have to share that. You have to see, well, it'll come to me later. You have to see the 8 people. If you see less, you could still make it. But we don't want to just make it. We don't want to just get by. We want to get by in a huge way. We want to make a splash. We want to get up. We don't want to do one of those pencil dives that don't make splashes. We want to do a freaking cannonball and get people's attention. Again, we talked about going from part-time to full-time. Feel free to reach out. I'll be a mentor for anyone. I love this business, and I guarantee you if you follow these steps, you can go from part-time to full-time much quicker than you think. I've even given you numbers behind what I'm saying. I know it works. Go make it work. Thanks for listening to the, my phone's ringing. People are, agents are needing help. Clients are needing to buy. Leads are ready to buy. So I'm going to jump off. Again, this is Cody with Secure Agent Mentor and secureagentmentor.com. Please check out the training website here. It'll be up in the next several weeks. Again, this is the Six-Figure Focus Podcast. Thanks for listening. Have an incredible week and go from part-time to full-time right now. Flip the switch, make the decision, do it.